The principles of Ptah. I could not do a video like, you know what I mean, about Ptah. I mean, he is the sacred counterpart, the consort of Sekhmet. And this has indeed been, November has been Sekhmet month. So you can't have Sekhmet without Ptah. But I have to say, he made himself known. He chose to be here, which is always divine alignment through me. I never force any beings to be in the space. Then when they come through me, then I'm like, okay, here we go. Because I've been working with Ptah for actually the last couple of years. Sekhmet, long time, but Ptah has been around and helping me in the background. And at a certain time, this is kind of how it works. When you've got like a little bit of an outer circle, you're aware that Merlin's over there, or you're aware that, White Buffalo Calf Woman's over there. You know that they're going to come into your space at some point when it is time to actually work in their realms. Do you know what I mean? So it's so powerful that Ptah came through very, very strongly about 10 days, 2 weeks ago, really made himself known in the circle, and then started to say, right, now weave my magic with Sekhmet, my counterpart. And that's how it all unfolded, which is why now I'm bringing him through me to you, because I know so many of you hold the aspects of Ptah. In fact, we all do, because he's a creator god. But you have a very, very special alliance and allegiance and connection with Ptah. So this is really powerful. So I'm not going to talk too much about him, because a lot of us are going to know about that on the temple meeting tomorrow. So the temple meeting has been brought forward to Tuesday, the 26th of November, because I'm off to Egypt on Thursday to actually go and see Sekhmet and Ptah. I literally have been called to head office, which is why this is so eerie, like, whoa, that he's actually in here like a freight train. So I've moved the temple meeting so we don't miss it to tomorrow. So we're going to be working with the frequencies and aspects and activations of Sekhmet and Ptah. Bring an idea, a vision, something you want to work with, because it's all about getting practical with your mastery. You can only master something if you practice it. So now it's time to get practical with your ideas and your visions, bringing your thoughts into things, right? So we're going to really get into the depths of Ptah and Sekhmet tomorrow. But for now, I wanted to deliver the principles of Ptah and kind of like give you the Gospel of Marie, how I work with him and how he communicates through me on the whole creating vibe. You know what I mean? This whole manifestation gig we got going on. So we have 6 principles here. So the first one is creation. Creation, thought, and word, speaking the world into being. And, in the beginning there was there was the word, and then kaboom, the world was created, and so on and so forth. So that's exactly the essence of Ptah. He's up there with Heka, Ptah, Ammon. There's other gods as well, but like they were the ones that had presence before anything was manifest in the world. It's like they are the consciousness, right? The kind of like tip top OGs, top of the mountain, top of the point creator gods, right? So they were the ones that brought their essences together, and Ammon and Ptah very much weaved their magic together, and they brought forth the world, right? That's the belief system. Okay, now Heka is also kind of up there with that energy, because Heka is a very, very powerful essence and frequency. He is a god as well, but he was also there before time. So even the gods and goddesses would call on Heka, because they were higher than them, to actually bring through the frequency and energy they needed to grant the prayers of the people that were praying to them, being the gods and goddesses. Powerful, hey? So we're talking top shelf, top high end, beginning, like origin of the stream of consciousness. We're at that point, right? That is Ptah, right? He is known as an architect. He builds realities and everything like that. So of course, when he speaks, the vibration comes out of his mouth. He speaks the idea into happen. Like, think about it like this. If you're going to announce something, you make it official, right? So if you sit there and you've got your idea in your head and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm going to keep it to myself. Then all of a sudden you're like, do you know what? I'm going to announce it. I'm going to say, right, guys, next week I'm opening up a business, or next week I'm going to start writing a book. I am announcing that this is happening. What are you doing there? You're actually bringing life and kind of putting it out there and giving it a heartbeat. Journaling could be described as a similar kind of version, meaning as soon as you start journaling about something, it's out there on paper, it's physically out there. It's not just in here. So that's what Ptah teaches us about bringing thoughts into things. Now, your first place would be to speak it out loud. You give an announcement and then you're a witness speaking those words, and then the energy starts running, right? Because you've spoken it. Line in the sand, gauntlet in the sand, whatever you want to call it. it's happening. Okay. Then you can actually journal it. Then you may write some plans or create an architect plan to build a house, you know, whatever it might be. You start to trickle into the physical support that has come from you announcing your thing, right? So we get that the power of thought, here's my idea, and then words, like speaking words out there, that's your contribution to spirit. So whether it's negative, you're going to get back more of that. If it's positive, you're going to get back more of that. Do you know what I mean? So understanding that our voices have frequency and it holds a specific frequency. So always keep it on the highest timeline, right? Number 2, order and harmony. We kind of like move into Ma'at now, because obviously Ptah works very, very closely with Heka, because Heka is magic and medicine. Okay, so that he's also a creator god. And then you have Ma'at, who is the 7 principles, 42 laws. Be good, be a nice person. You know, live right, do the right thing, you know, all of the things. So that is obviously keeping your vibration high, harmonious with the universe. And then when one does that and lives by Ma'at, all gifts will be bestowed, right? So that would be what, you know, order and harmony, principle number 2 is all about. Harmonizing force in the universe. Okay, so that is what Ptah is. That's what I put on my notes here. So he's a harmonizing force in the universe. You have to match it. Okay, because we know to be a vibrational match, for manifestation to happen, we need to be a vibrational match. So you need to be harmonious. How do you do that? You live by Ma'at. You do your shadow work. You clear your being. But most of all, you think positive. You talk positive, you do everything positive. Everything which is negative, old belief systems, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough, blah, blah, blah. Lack is illusion. So you need to stop hanging out with that bad boy, because it's not going to work for you. And you now need to speak your frequency. Now I had something very similar happen this morning, where I was like, I'm going through some major healing stuff, really deep diving at the moment, whole nother video. But my point is I was using my words to move me out of that energy. I don't want to do another healing session. I don't need to. I just need to speak more positively. I trust myself. I trust the universe. I'm the universe. I trust myself. I am safe. I trust myself. Now listen, that's kind of like basically the poster for every single starseed in physical form. But my point is, as I was saying that, I shifted out of my anxiety and I began to have a good day. So that's my point. The power of your words, staying present with it, choosing to hang out with the good people, the good vibes, and choosing to stay away from the shit ones. Okay? Real simple. Okay? Now, principle number 3. Master craftsmanship. Okay, so that's what he is, master, and he's a craftsman, right? So he is such a powerful creator because he's Ptah, right? So he's an architect, he's a builder, he creates new realities, and that's essentially what we're doing as a starseed, right? If you've got this far, this is what we're doing. So you want to know what your purpose is? You are building a brand new reality for others to step into. You're creating the actual reality in your space. So are you creating a good one or are you creating a bad one? That's your responsibility, right? And that goes back to point number 2 of watch your words, watch your vibration, keep everything high, no negative selves chatter and all the thing. So basically that would be constituted as you creating a brand new timeline. Because if you are feeling good inside by telling yourself you're safe, by having a good conversation with yourself, going, yeah, you can do this. Everything happens for you, not to you. It's always working out for me. Yada, 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 yada. You know what I mean? Then all of a sudden the energy is going to shift. So when the energy shifts inside of you, you shine like a Care Bear out there, and your outer reality then matches up with this, okay? And this matches up with that. So once you've done that, your day's brilliant and you're feeling much better and things are starting to shift and all the rest of it. So you've just taken care of your space. That is you creating a new timeline. So that timeline will then connect with my reality. And then my reality will connect with another reality. And we're all thinking the same thing. Collectively, we become this beautiful patchwork quilt of just pure happy days, consciousness, nothing bad going on here. All is well, right? So that is what we're doing. We are creating reality. So that if you want to know how you do it day to day, that's kind of how it works, right? So that is what we're doing. That is our responsibility of being a master craftsmanship or master craftsman, I suppose, you know? So now, principle number 4, unity of spirit and matter. Quite simply, Heka codes. Unity of spirit matter is as above, so below. It's exactly as I've just explained it. Is your inner reality good? Because that means your outer reality is going to be good, right? You want to change anything out there? Change it in here. In fact, principle of mentalism, hermetic principles, number one, this. You want to change everything? Change your perception, right? It's your responsibility. Can't keep running the old stories, not at this stage of the game. We've moved from the old timeline to the new one. You want to move to that new timeline? Got to address this, got to address this. You know how to do it. You truly do, because you're a master, right? That's why Ptah stepped in. That's why he's all around, because he's like, right, let's do this. He couldn't turn up if you didn't know yourself as a master. So we've got to let the old gig go and let the new one come in, right? So now, unity of spirit and matter, okay? Intention and action basically creates creation, right? Intention plus action is creation, right? So here, unity of spirit and matter. So spirit, matter. This is also hue. The word human comes from hue from the Heka codes. So the second creator God in the Heka codes, which is the work that I work with, you have Seer, Hue, and Heka, 3 creator gods. That's the process you move through. Vision, speaking the idea into being, very similar to Ptah. And then you have Heka, physical manifestation. It's alchemy. So when Hue comes in, human means Hue, divine, man, bring it into the physical. So he's the runway. He's the coming into land. And Ptah is basically sharing that with us, that he is as above, so below. And in a way, Sekhmet could be regarded as so below, because he's got these new realities and things he's creating. He's an architect, and he's like, Sekhmet, my love, please can you burn up all the shit so I can land, okay? So it can be free from chaos, no shadow, so I can bring this new reality in. We're going to get into that tomorrow. So that's kind of like how it works, okay? As above, so below, right? So that's your principle number 4. Now, or 5. 4? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 5 principles. I lied. Okay, so now, 5th principle. Anyway, I've lost count. Who cares? Numbers are numbers. Okay, so now, reliability, unwavering, infinite presence, permanence, reliability, consistency. That is when we understand that we're not separate. Nothing can get taken away from us, which burns to pieces. Thank you, Sekhmet. The idea of lack. So how are you in lack? Okay, you know what I mean? Because that's just illusion. So she burns all of that away, and you go, oh, I was never separate of all of this. Now I've got my goggles off. Wipe your eyes. You can actually see that everything you asked for was right here. You just hadn't aligned with it because you're too busy hanging out with your best mate, which is fear, and is telling me everything's going to go wrong, right? So, but now jump over to this side, clear the vision, get clear and true in what your reality truly is that you are part of the consciousness, that you are God's spark, that you were never separate of it, that you are a master, you know, all the things, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is a constant flow of abundance that comes, constant feeling of safety, constant feeling of just being connected, constant feeling that this is never going to run out. You don't just have a good run and then it gets taken away. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's constantly there. So now permanence and reliability, right? So if you want to also reflect that, you have to match the universe. So consistency, purpose, get up every day and be consistent with your purpose, right? Action. And I've said this in other videos before. We are in the action phase. So if you want to cross over to the other timeline, you have to take action now. Invest in yourself, invest in your business, change the trajectory. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough this, that, and the other. Well, unfortunately, that's kind of going to be what you're going to keep creating. But yeah, okay. So sorry, somebody waving at me over the window. So, yeah, whatever. I'm talking about creation, dude. So interesting. Had to stop the video now. I'm back, which is why I had to cut the video and start again. Do you know why I had to do that? It's because somebody was waving to me outside of the window when I was talking about creation and waving at me, trying to give me my car keys. Okay. So now isn't that interesting? Key unlocks things. Keys to my car, which means go places, travel timeline. Okay, so I pick up on everything, and I was like, do you know what? I need to pause this video because it needs to go in there. So that's that. We were just talking about this, right? Of timelines and creation and everything like that. And up pops Marie's keys for her vehicle. Interesting. But anyway, going back to what I was saying. So consistency, purpose, action, that's where we're at right now. And I know, can I just have a moment and a pause for compassion? I know how flippin' paralyzing and scary and, you know, living in purgatory. I want to use that word purgatory, which I've done for years, of the thought of being seen, of the thought of going out there. And I've got so much to share with the world and I just can't, you know. And the bottom line is, at this stage of the game, right, you are stuck in your lie, because if it's not fully abundant, we know that it's a lie. But how do we get out of it? We understand that. How do we get out of it? First of all, you keep going, keep watching all of Marie's videos and following the temple gatherings and stuff like that, because that's what they're there for. You're not going to be there forever, because if you've made it this far, you didn't get this side of the fence to actually pop off the planet. So it's going to sort itself out. So chill out with that. However, it does take you. This is where the uncomfortable bit comes in. This is why not everybody can do what we do. You got to step out of your comfort zone and you have to commit. You have to invest in you. And that's what happens is when you step in and invest and you go, this is a bit stingy sore. I actually don't want to do this. It feels so uncomfortable. I just want to go and hide. It doesn't matter. And you do it anyway. Spirit looks at that and they're like, wow, she is being, or he is being courageous. He's stepping in. He's investing. He's pitching up to the party. And that's what the frequency of the universe feels, senses, and knows. So they give you the same thing. It pitches up the party to meet you. Never have I ever, let's play that game, pitched up to somewhere and not been caught by spirit. My whole life has been about uncomfortability. You know what I mean? Do you think I wanted to go to Egypt on my own to basically put these tours together? Do you think that, I mean, why didn't I just do a little workshop for 4 people? That would have been easier. Just doing international tours and things like that. It had its levels of fear. Course it does. And anything that you are scared of, you gotta tap it, man, because inside of that fear is the great gift of glory, which is victorious. Like the sun shines, you unlock another gift. It's just like the road paves out for you. That's where we're at. And you will be supported and you will be met. But it's going to take some level of commitment for you. And don't fall into the trap that I did for many years, is basically doing healing work on myself and waiting for myself to be ready, to feel comfortable and peaceful enough to step out there, because that is never going to happen ever. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't matter how much healing work you do, you just end up pouring into the pot of procrastination. There's the 3 P's. So sometimes you just got to do this and just do it. And just do it. And the bottom line is, you're going to be somewhere else. You're not going to be in the same place. So maybe look at it like that. Face your fears and just go, right, I'm going to put that video out on YouTube. I'm going to commit and I'm going to go and do that thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to do something which basically jolts me out of this current reality. And then I'm going to let spirit take the wheel. You know what I mean? And that's what needs to happen. So consistency, purpose, action. You will be rewarded for that. I am living proof. It's been scary as hell, but that's just my own stuff. If I look back on it and I go, you were always okay, Marie. You were always okay. And I was more than okay. So take the leap, take the plunge. Okay. So if you want to take action, everything will happen for you. If you stay exactly where you are, nada will happen. So you've got to keep going. You've got to keep going. And you know what? You can't stop now. So anyway, I'm going to leave this here with you. And I hope that Ptah's principles can kind of like help you step into your mastery and your magic just a little bit more. We'll deep dive a lot more in tomorrow's temple meeting. And yeah, look forward to hanging out with you then. So yeah, see you tomorrow, guys. Peace.